All right, so like I mentioned the other day, we're going to be talking with Felipe Bragiao. Tough last name to pronounce, kind of matches his jiu-jitsu style. This guy, I believe, honestly, doing the research that I've been doing, I believe this guy is probably the best kept non-secret in Sacramento. The guy's jiu-jitsu is outstanding. His personality is great. So I'm honored that he's allowing me to come and hang out with him for 2 nights, which was great. I got here last week and then this week. So I'm super excited about that. So I'm going to introduce him real quick. So Felipe, tell us about yourself. Let's talk about your lineage a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about where you started in jiu-jitsu and what kind of brought you to jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. So I started jiu-jitsu in Brazil. Actually, I started judo when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
And then I transitioned to judo to jiu-jitsu. And my lineage is Carson Gracie. So I've been training Carson Gracie since I was a little kid.
Nice.
And then I moved from Brazil to Florida back in 2000.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I live in Orlando. There was no Carson Gracie there in Orlando when I was living there. So Helio Soneca, he moves over there.
Yeah.
So I trained with Soneca for a while. And then from Orlando, and then I moved back to Brazil. And then I had my best friend, Daniel Moraes.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
5-time world champion. So I spent a bunch of time training with him. We trained together a bunch.
What's your purple belt?
I got my purple belt from Daniel Moraes. Yeah. So, yeah.
See, I did research. I looked you up.
Yeah, that's cool. So then from Brazil, Daniel was going to do his first MMA match. And then we went to Ohio. And I was cornering him. I was his striking coach at the time. I've been doing savate kickboxing for a long time too. So I was his strike coach at the time. Me and Helson Gracie were coaching him. And then from that, I moved to Hawaii, to Kauai.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I was there with Bruno Longman Jiu-Jitsu.
I've heard the name, but
Yes.
I don't know him that well. So
Yeah, he's
I'll
a
be honest.
great coach. He's world champion. He's original actually. He's from Carson Gracie too, from Pinduca. And then that's why he used to be his first coach, and then he's become Gracie Kauai. And Bruno is very solid, basic jiu-jitsu, closer guard. When I moved to Kauai, they have very good guard, and I spent so long with him learning chokes and arm bars, all that stuff. So he's great. You know what I mean? So I stayed down in Kauai for like 5 years, around 5 years, and I moved back here to Sacramento.
Okay.
And then Uriah brought me over, and Fabio Prado, and I was running Uriah's gym, Ultimate Fitness, from Timo Fameo, who he was next door. So I was a brown belt at the time, and then Fabio Prado, he's been my training partner my whole life. He's kind of like my brother, we grew up together. So he gave my belt, talking to Daniel and Bruno. They decided it was the time to give the belt. Daniel was in Brazil, Bruno was in Hawaii, so Fabio handled my belt. You know what I mean? And we've been training together. Me and Fabio have been training together since blue belts and white belts together.
So that's cool. That's cool that he gave you the black then. That's super cool.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So me and he used to go Carson Gracie way back in the days, young kids. I remember I was the only 16-year-old trainer over there. And there was like a bunch of tough guys, Paulo Filo, Arona, Chucão. My coach was Ricardo Liborio at the time at the bell. So I learned a lot of stuff from those guys,
That's old school stuff, and that's kind of what you base your jiu-jitsu on too. I mean, when we talked last time, you really do try to keep it at its grassroots. Like you do keep it at an aggressive style, but not the type. I don't know how to explain it. A lot of people. Complain about like the softer side of jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, or the harder side, whatever. But to be honest, seeing your guys compete or seeing your guys train and stuff like that, you guys, you pick up the pace. Like you really do keep it kind of, hey, let's push, let's do this, and push. You do it with your kids too.
Yes. Yeah. I like to keep tradition things the way it was. Yeah. We try to update it to the new technique, what people are doing, and have some guys here specialists in heel hooks and different things. So we stay up, you know what I mean? You train everything, people are doing that. But I like to keep tradition, you know what I mean? Like very basic, solid foundation. I don't know if you realize every class you do takedowns, we start with takedowns, we're doing judo, wrestling, or Greco, you know what I mean? I have super high level wrestling, Greco-Roman guys, so make sure we do takedowns every class in the beginning. And then, keep the traditional style. Like I say, and now that you realize my guys, I don't handle belts easy because I never get my belts easy. So I think I try to do what my coach used to do it to me. I don't want to change the philosophy, the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, how it was, just because of money, just because I want to make sure I compete with the gyms next door to me because they handle belts faster, because they can do this, that, whatever. I was like, no, I tell my guys honest, if you want to be here with me, because you want to be here with me. If you're not, there's a bunch of the gyms, a bunch of good coaches everywhere, go find another gym, So it's pretty much where I stand.
Well, and you did mention that before when I was here last week. You mentioned that before about how you are pretty much point blank with your students. Like you don't, or the people that come in, you're very honest about it and say, hey, look, if you're looking for a certain style, a certain thing, that's not really what I'm all about. This is how I am. So, and I always find that refreshing.
Kainoa, we are getting complete attention. Get off the phone. Go!
Yeah, I think everybody, a bunch of jiu-jitsu coaches just chasing the money and they forget about the philosophy. Of course, money is good.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to make money, but there's a whole martial arts philosophy comes with jiu-jitsu, and I try to stick with that,
See, he's going to be honest about things too, guys. That's why you guys, if you're up here, come and train with this guy, I'm telling you. So, you really do have like some good news coming up here shortly. He's got it. You'll see it. I videoed a little bit of it, but you'll see it. You're moving.
Yes.
So you're getting a bigger place.
Yeah, bigger place. Yeah, I try and stay here as much as I could. You know what I mean? But it's on a point to grow. The class is getting too big, and I have to move it. So
everybody should have that problem, right? It's good.
Yeah,
It's
it's
good.
good. Yeah,
That's
it's a good problem
cool.
that you have at the moment, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
So, well, I'm excited for you. I think it's well deserved.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I think it's great. Feel very welcome when you come here. So definitely. One of the other things I want to talk to you about a little bit, competitions. We touched on that a little bit last week, and you kind of have that same philosophy when you compete as well. Like you want to. This is jiu-jitsu, so let's do jiu-jitsu. Let's roll. You mentioned that you don't like the new set of rules kind of because they kind of have a little bit of a favorite side of things, I guess. I don't know how to be more politically correct on that, but
yeah, sometimes I think the guys who win tournaments, that's the guys who kind of smart competition-wise because they know a lot about the rules. They run around the mat and they set it up something when they're about to come off boundary and they run away. So I wasn't competing for a few years. After I had my kids, I was just focused on the gyms and the kid, you know what I mean? I grew up without a father, so I was trying to be the best father for my kids.
Okay.
It's a learning process for me. So after a few years, I realized I talked to my family, say, hey guys, there's a part of me is dad. I miss the competition, I need to get the fire inside of me and feel alive again. So I went back, competed again a little bit, you know what I mean? So the past 3 years, maybe I've been competing again a little bit more.
Good.
And I realized that back in the days when I was competing, we get in the middle and you go and fight, you know what I mean? You go hard and then after we shake hands, all good, you won, whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
But we go nowadays, guys score and run away. I have a couple of mats that have been chasing guys the whole match and I pull guard and they run away and this and that. I was like, it's frustrating, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, I have to improve the way I control the situation, you know what I mean?
So it's a learning curve for you as well.
For me, yes, I have to update myself for the new competition style, you know what I mean? Because I feel like before people going far, now they do more strategy kind of thing,
Right.
They score little points, they hold, they run away, they fight for advantage. I don't remember that. Carson Gracie was talking about, let's go for advantage and hold right there.
Yeah.
I even heard there's gyms like that teach you how to get advantage and hold position, you know what I mean?
Right.
I haven't taught nobody here like how to get advantage and hold.
No.
You know what I mean? That's not like what we're looking for, you know what I mean?
Right. No, you definitely did not teach your guys how to do that.
Yeah, I want to go there and have fun, give my best. It doesn't matter if I win or lose. Of course, I want to win. I hate to lose. You know what I mean? But I want to go over there and put everything out. You know what I mean? So
I'm going to regress a little bit. You said you have kids. So do they do jiu-jitsu? How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids.
Okay. Nice.
That I know about. No, I'm joking. No, 2 kids and my daughter's 7, my son just turned 11.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I saw them both out on the mat, so they both do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, they both do jiu-jitsu. They compete. They do little local tournaments. They've been doing pretty good.
Nice.
The big kids. So my son's 11, go against 14 because he's 135 pounds. Not many 11-year-old that weight. So, but he's doing pretty good. He wins some he gets second, third.
Yeah.
But he's doing okay. I don't want to burn them out. Like a lot of my friends, they put so much pressure the way they have to do diet, compete, and do this, all that. I just want to, they compete if they want to.
Nice.
Just tell them they have to do class 2 times a week at least, just as a self-defense, martial arts, and learning the whole philosophy.
Absolutely.
But I don't want to put that much pressure on them the way when they turn 13, 14, they so burn out, they don't want nothing to do at the gym, you know?
Right.
So,
it's really hard to, keep kids engaged sometimes when they have so many other things to distract them and so many things, friends and Fortnite, and, Xbox and everything else that's going on, man. It's insane. But, it's good that the family tradition keeps going. It's keep that lineage going too. So that's super cool. But, so what are your plans for the future? What are you thinking about doing? Are you, I know that you are also a striking coach and stuff like that. You do focus on MMA as well. You have a lot of fighters that come through here.
Yes.
You have a couple out there today, but you really is that going to be like a main focus for you, or are you going to try to branch
actually,
out?
you know what? I was trying to stay away from the fighters, for a while, but they keep coming. You know what I mean?
That's good.
So I'm kind
good.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm selecting a group of fighters I work with.
Okay.
There's a bunch of people looking for they want to be fighters and stuff, and I've been seeing a lot of guys to Uriah's gym because I don't have a lot of time. You know what I mean? I really want to focus on my clients I have, on the families, on the kids program, and I have a group of fighters I train with, and I'm gonna stick with those guys.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And honestly, right now, the guys who fight MMA, I choose the guys who I want to train. I don't train anybody. I kind of see like the character, the personality, if they fit on my program, if they're cool people who I think deserve learning from me, I pick them. Because once in a while, there's some assholes show up here, some meatheads, and they think they're tough, and they don't want to hurt one of my clients, and they want to, talk over me, and then I have to beat them up and kick them out. You know what I mean? So
we won't mention any names.
Yeah. But we try to keep it like that, and I try to keep it like as a good environment, that way you train hard, jokes and stuff. But everybody's friends on the end. You know what I mean? You throw each other the walls, but we shake hands, and it's all good after. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody here come with a bad intention. The way they want to pop your arm.
Right.
They want to, do something, hurt you, you know what I mean, on purpose, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
because it just breaks your clients down.
Yeah, for sure.
And they get disappointed, they quit.
For sure, yeah.
So you got to protect your clientele. Absolutely. But yeah, so really, you do have an aggressive style from the guard. So you have an opinion on. You said you were changing your game up a little bit. You had to get more into the takedowns because you also did judo and wrestling and things like that. So
so when I first started, I don't know if you know, Carson Grace is really famous at Top Game.
Yeah.
So all I do was my judo throws and try to be on top, scoring. I had few sweeps on there. I was very limited on my guard.
Okay.
I have few strong sweeps on a couple of half a guard, close a guard, part of few things, but I wasn't very comfortable pulling guard.
Okay.
When I get my purple belt, and I was here in the US, fought a bunch of like D1 wrestlers, a bunch of tough wrestlers, I was having a hard time taking those guys down.
Right.
So I realized a couple of times I lost a fight at the Pan Am's once, or I tried shooting, the guy sprawl, I had to pull guard and score. Hawaii on the state shoot, same thing happened before in the final. So I realized, man, I gotta get my wrestling better, and I gotta get my guard better. So I got obsessed with guard game.
Okay.
So before Bruno gave my brown belt, he kept giving me stripe. I was already 5 stripes purple belt, and he didn't know because I didn't wear my stripe. So he told me, to get your brown belt, you have to go to the next tournament and you have to submit everybody off your guard.
Oh, shoot.
So he told me that, and he wouldn't give me my belt, you know what I mean? And I was frustrated, like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't asked for belt.
No, of course not.
Even I didn't tell him when he gave my 5th stripe, and I kept secret, until he really wanted to handle my belt.
That's awesome.
So when I did pretty well, you know what I mean? I get a couple of submissions off my guard, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, your guard is decent now." So
nothing like having a little.
But I still have that on my mind. I gotta take down. I gotta be on top. But usually the mats I've been doing well lately. I've been pulling guard, and I've been creating a sweep or submission from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's that whole thing where some people don't approve of pulling guard in a tournament and things like that, and I actually don't. I waver. I like to play guard. That's my game too. I love playing guard. So if I go against somebody, I'm gonna probably pull guard. But people give shit about their, oh, you're a guard puller. Oh, you can't do takedowns. that's not entirely true. This man can do takedowns, and he likes to pull guard. So there you go. I think it works both in different ways. Certain situations.
Yes,
so,
for sure.
I think that I'm excited to watch you compete. I hope you do compete soon, and I'm able to cover or come out and watch you. But I always enjoy coming out here. I'm hoping I come out here some more. But I know we got a class to teach. I'm going to film some stuff tonight with you.
Okay.
So what is? I don't want to keep you too much longer.
No, yeah,
so
you're fine.
What is the one thing that if you wanted somebody to know about you? What is the one thing that you'd want to say? Hey, this is who I am. This is what I am. This is where I am.
Let me see. Yeah.
I know it's a tough question. We'll edit it.
It's a tough question, but you know what I mean? Like, what I am, I do this because I love. That's what I love to do. You know what I mean? So when I'm doing this, I try to give my best. And I don't like to hide anything. I want my students to become better than me. I don't want to be act like I'm the master and know everything because I'm not. I'm learning. I don't know shit. Pretty much. That's how it is in jiu-jitsu. It's a never-end learning. So I always want to learn. I learn from my students. I learn from friends who come around like you. I'm always open to learn, and I want to get better. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit down and think, oh, I'm good. Time to walk around the mat, flexing, and then don't participate. So I'm always rolling with everybody. People visiting, my students, guys who are gonna prepare for fights. I spar them, I do boxing, sparring, wrestling, everything. So I'm always trying to put myself in the mix and make sure, keep me young, keep me alive. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I don't want to sit on the sides and just holding the whistle and tell you do this, do that. You know what I mean? I want to try this as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? Until my body let me.
That's right. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. So, well, I appreciate you taking the time with me. We'll get out there to class. I'll do some filming and we'll get things.
No, for sure. Thank you. It's a pleasure having you over. Yeah, thank you.